Hi everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Mahabharata with Anuja. Now Vyasa's immortal epic, the Mahabharata, is not just one of the best stories ever told, it is also extremely complicated. The format Vyasa used was every story will have a story behind it and every backstory will also have a backstory. So we have thousands of characters and many stories. It is believed that nobody can interpret the Mahabharata in its entirety. So there will always be something new you will learn every time you read the Mahabharata or hear the story. They say entire lifetimes aren't enough. But I hope to do the best I can to explain and simplify the story for you. Let's start at the very beginning. As the song goes, it's a very good place to start. Now, Vyasa was supposed to have composed this entire epic entirely in his mind. And when he had done this, they say that he worshipped Brahma and sought his help. Brahma very graciously appeared before him, and when Vyasa told him that he'd composed this amazing poem, this epic poem, Brahma advised him to propitiate Lord Ganesha and to ask his help as the divine scribe to set it down for posterity. And Vyasa took this advice and he worshipped Ganesha, who also appeared before him, and Vyasa requested him to write down the story so that it can be preserved for the rest of time. Ganesha agreed, but there was one condition. Ganesha told Vyasa, once I start writing, I will not stop. Once I stop, I will not pick up my quill again. Vyasa agreed, but he placed a condition of his own. He said, I will keep on narrating this story, but you have to understand everything you put down. And the two of them shook on it in a manner of speaking, and they got started on this magnum opus. It's supposed to have gone on for many years. Vyasa would keep narrating and Ganesha would keep writing very fast, and Vyasa therefore composed some extremely complicated stanzas, and Ganesha would slow down in order to understand its meaning and also to savor the story, which was so incredibly beautiful. And the two great legends, they kept at it for a long time, and finally the entire Mahabharata was set down. And both of them were immensely satisfied when this happened, and Ganesha is supposed to have blessed the Mahabharata. He said that the Mahabharata will survive as long as the mountains stand and as long as the rivers flow. And having concluded their business to their mutual satisfaction, both of them went on their way. And legend has it that Vyasa first shared this version of the Mahabharata with his son sage Shuka, and later he told this story to his disciples as well. It was sage Shuka who first shared the stories with the Gandharvas, the Rakshasas and the Yakshas, and it was sage Narada, the famous troublemaker and devotee of Lord Vishnu, who shared the Mahabharata with the celestials, Indra and all the immortals. Now I'm going to tell you the story of how it was shared with the human beings, with the mortals, with us. It was shared by Vyasa's foremost disciple, sage Vaishampayana, at a very incredible snake sacrifice, and I'm going to tell you how it all went down. Now, King Janamejaya, he was the king of Hastinapura, okay, and he belonged to a very illustrious lineage. He was Arjuna's great-grandson. His grandfather was Abhimanyu, a hero who is beloved to Indians everywhere. His father's name was Parikshit, and Parikshit also was a very special baby because he was the sole surviving heir of the Pandavas, and they say that Lord Krishna had saved his life while he was a newborn infant. Now, Janamejaya did not know any of his illustrious ancestors personally. He'd lost his father at a very young age, and he'd been a ward of the court, and when he reached his majority, he'd been placed on the throne. He did not know much about the past. His ministers had made sure about it because there were some traumatic secrets there. As a king, Janamejaya was very good. He was just and fair,